What's up, faithful? Welcome to the 49ers You've Got Mail podcast presented by Delta Dental. I'm Lindsay Polaris. Today, I am joined by veteran defensive lineman Arik Armstead. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
So, Arik, you are now the longest tenured 49ers player on this 2023 roster. What has changed since 2015 when you were drafted and walked through these doors here?
A lot has changed. The building has changed quite a bit. Throughout my years, got some updates. Been good. Cafeteria is different. That's probably the major update since I've been here. And people are different. Culture is different. Played for some bunch of different coaches. Played with a bunch of different players, and it's been a great experience. Though I'm really blessed to be a 49er for this long and be here and be part of the down years and be part of the up years and success as well too. It's all part of the process, and it's been fun.
You predate the John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan era. How have you seen the culture evolve into this amazing brotherhood that it is today?
Yeah, it's been really amazing. I think when they got here, it's culture is all about people, and organization is all about people. People have to fill these spaces. People have to fill these meeting rooms, and fill our roster and fill our team. And so, I think that's of the utmost importance when you're looking at how do you build something successful and sustainable. And I think they did a great job of that, coming in and figuring out who's who and figuring out the type of people that they wanted to be part of this organization and on the team. And when new people come in, I think they kind of, I wouldn't say fall in line, but fall into the culture, and they embrace it. And so I think establishing that early on when they first got here, we weren't winning a lot of games, but we were competitive. We were played super hard. And as we got better and better, we started having some success, and we're trying to keep it going.
You've evolved as well. You are now a foundational piece of this 49ers defensive line and also a big-time contributor outside in your community work, both in the Bay Area and Sacramento. What sparked your interest in giving back?
I think that was in me, at a young age. I can always remember being, a part of different outreach and give back to our community in Sacramento, where I'm from, my family. That was instilled in us from a young age. And so I think it's just part of who I am. And as I, found my, as I became, an adult and found my lane in life, and have been so blessed to be here in the NFL for 9 years, it just naturally turned to, how I can have impact and how I can help people and use my platform and use everything that I've been blessed with to be a blessing to others.
A lot of your efforts are solely based on education equity. How did that become your cause?
That became my cause, as I learned and grew as a person, and trying to figure out how to have the biggest impact. I think education is a space where there can be a lot of change and there can be a lot of impact to be had. And I think education is the foundation for when you look at disparities in our country, economic divides, other socioeconomic issues in our country. I really think it starts with education, and even in that playing field, and providing the same opportunities for everyone. And so when I learned that education and opportunity were being defined by where you grew up or how much money you have, that didn't sit right with me, and I wanted to do something about it, and help people have a chance to be successful in life.
Your continued efforts through the Armstead Academic Project have earned you a fourth straight nomination for the 49ers for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. just knowing the time that you've invested, all the people that you've been able to help, what does that nod mean from the 49ers to get this honor 4 times?
It's huge. It means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to a lot of people. Being our nominee for the team has been amazing, but also we have a team that truly believes in the work that needs to be done to, create change in our society. That starts at the top with the Yorks and everything that they believe in, and trickles down to our teammates and our organization and our staff, you know, stadium staff and executives. Everybody has, a heart of, wanting to think outside of ourselves and be impactful in our community. And so representing that is a huge honor and very humbling. And, I don't take that lightly. And it validates the work that, we're all trying to accomplish. And it provides even a bigger platform to serve more and do more. And so it's amazing being a nominee and, representing our team and representing where I'm from, representing my family. It's a lot of people that, I'm sure are very proud. And, I want to represent them the right way.
Each year that you've been nominated, the 49ers have done a really amazing job of revealing that nomination to you in creative ways. This year, it involves some heartfelt messages from your fellow D linemen. What was the significance of that video to you?
That was amazing. They always do an amazing job, surprising me. I'm sure they have to get creative since it's been the fourth time. I'm sure they were panicking, like, oh, how are we going to do it this year? But they always get me. They always surprise me and involving my teammates in those messages and being able to, talk to my teammates too a little bit about it was amazing for me because, football is obviously why we're all here and in this space, in this building, and why we're all together. Football has brought us together, but football being the main thing always, you don't get necessarily time to reflect on the relationships and the special bond that you have just being around each other. And it's something that a lot of people talk about when they're done playing, missing it, but being able to have a moment and kind of share that in the moment was very special to me and a great moment for me and my teammates.
You were called the Blueprint several times in that video. Where did that nickname, that designation come from?
Coach Tapp started that one. I think a few years back, he started calling me that, and he started it, and then coaches started using it, and I think this year too, Coach Wilkes made it a bigger point when he got here and heard Tap calling me that. Then I think it became a bigger thing, and more people start calling me that when Coach Wilkes publicly started saying it.
In that video, there were several newcomers to the team speaking about Chase Young, Randy Gregory, and they had glowing things to say about you. How do you quickly develop these relationships with those newcomers to the team?
They happen naturally, just it's a rough situation for guys to make that transition, and so when they're coming on our team, it's accepting them with open arms and trying to be as helpful as possible and realizing, I could easily be like, oh, I'm worried about what I got going on and what I need to do. But, these guys, when they come here, they're going to be so impactful and such a huge part of where we're trying to go and where we're trying to get. And so helping them along and embracing them and, trying to do everything you can to help them in the transition that is a tough one already. They got to move cross country and learn a new playbook, and everything's up in the air for them. And it's like, oh, I don't know anybody, and I got to figure all this out. And,
It's a lot.
it's a tough situation. So just trying to help them through that and the faster we can help them through that, the better it's going to be for the team and everyone involved. So that's just my mindset, when someone new is coming on the team.
How do those relationships translate directly to the on the field performance?
I think they go hand in hand. I mean, I think you can have some level of success when guys don't necessarily get along, but you can't have ultimate success. The closest teams are going to be the most successful. Um, and so that bond, that brotherhood, that camaraderie that you have to build, it's a journey. It's a journey you have to go on together. I think the the special thing about football is like shared adversity that brings you closer in moments, and you're going through the same thing. Um, you're together in tough games, tough moments, tough practices, tough times when you know coaches might be going off on you, and you got to stick together as teammates, and so um, yeah, it builds that bond, and it's very important to for team success and where you want to get to.
Also, just looking over the course of the season, I've seen a lot of the defensive linemen also participate in a lot of the 49ers community events with you and also support you in several of the Armstead Academic Project events. Do you feel that just that close bond makes it easier to get them to hop along in these events?
Yeah, for sure. Everyone has been super supportive of the work that we're trying to accomplish, and it's been a huge help as well too. When we're interacting with kids, or we're interacting with donors and people who support our organization. Having my teammates and there, that's special for them. They just don't get a chance to meet me, but they get to chance to meet a whole bunch of people that they look up to and really admire and think very highly of, and it's just more special for everyone involved.
The Armstead Academic Project is the vehicle by which you do all these community efforts and events that benefit the youth and education. That started in 2019 with you and your wife. How did you guys go about setting up the foundation?
Yeah, so I've been doing kind of give back um, initiatives my entire career, and you know, as I continue to grow and develop, I'm like, I want to have more impact. Like, how do we grow the organization, and how do we bring it corral support? And in order to do those things, you have to be a legitimized organization. It's one thing for me, just which was what I was doing early in my career. I was just paying for programming, paying for kids to go on field trips, paying for camps, and just supporting however I could. But it's different when you take the steps to formalize the organization, and we have a board, and we uh, started making hires, and we have an executive director, and that's when you can build and have bigger impact, much more sustainable. And that's when I started the organization. I wanted it to be sustainable, much long after I'm done playing football, and that's the goal. And so we're building a foundation, and we're serving and trying to do more and more.
How much more work went into it than you expected initially?
Uh, a lot of, you know, well, I would say before I got aboard and made some hires, it was a lot, and now that we have more structure, I think I kind of rewind it back and kind of we gotta set a foundation, have more structure in order to be more efficient, and that's what we've done these past 2 years is focus on structure, and so we can have a better future and serve more. So it's a lot that goes into it. It's definitely not easy, but I feel that having a better structure, it has relieved some on me, trying to organize and coordinate a lot of things, and having the right people in place to help. I'm a big ideas guy. You know, I'm like, all right, this is what I think these kids need, and this is what we need to do. We need to create this, and but I'm playing football. I'm doing
Got a full-time
yeah
job.
other things, and so in order to execute and be efficient, you need great people around you, and I feel like we have that now, and it's been a lot of fun.
The foundation has a ton of cool events. One of the ones I found the most interesting was the Stay Hungry Career Camp. Who thought of that idea and what went into bringing that to life?
Yeah, so I am the ideas guy.
Okay.
So that was an idea I had, and we focus on career and college exploration with our high school students. And so my my idea was, with being around a lot of the kids that we serve, I'm asking them like, what do you want to do later in life? And I learned that a lot of kids only know the careers that a aunt or uncle might do, their parents might do, whoever's in their community, but their minds aren't really exposed or open to different career paths and avenues that might be very interesting to them. And you really only know what you know. So my idea was, let's take kids, um, expose them to different career opportunities, and try to spark their interest in and hopefully they're passionate about a career field that they can get into and have fun and enjoy and make good money. And education is very important, but also it's a vehicle to get a career at the end of the day. And so um, you know not every kid is going to go to college, even though we believe in college and higher education. That might not be for every kid, but if I can show them a pathway to get a good job that they're passionate about, or I can show them and inspire them to go to college, for um, to eventually get a good job. That's what we're trying to accomplish.
Your programming goes all the way from high school down to grade school. Do you have a favorite event that the Armstead Academic Project is involved with or has created?
Literacy is huge for our elementary school students, so story time with myself is always very fun. I've been reading with kids, uh, across the world, virtually and in person, for a few years now, and that's always a lot of fun for me. And so yeah, that's our baby, program that has been there, ever since, and we're excited to expand that as well too, with our partnerships. And we're having a huge literacy program, and we're partnering with Teach for America
That's
to
awesome.
hire teachers back to teach kids to or work on their reading in the summertime, so that heading into the next grade they're not behind. So we're really excited about that.
One thing that's great about kids, they're always honest. They say the funniest things. What is the most interesting interaction you've had during a story time?
Um, yeah, kids say a lot of funny stuff, cracking jokes. One kid, he had a funny joke. I forgot it. It was on one of my YouTube videos where I was hanging out with the kids at the school. But no, kids are the just hilarious, and they say whatever comes to their mind, and I was the exact same way. So
No
it's all
filters.
yeah, no filter. It's always fun being around them. I taught at or well, I read at a school up in San Francisco, and I think they were like sixth grade, seventh grade, and that age starts to get a little rough. The second graders and the third graders, they're all into it, but the sixth graders, they
They're too
start,
cool.
yeah,
They're
they
too
they
cool.
they have their little chance, and they made it a little rough on me, but I handled my own in there. I was proud of myself.
Do you find you have a new respect for teachers after doing the
100
story time?
Yeah, 100%. I know all their little tricks now. Clap twice if you can hear me. Clap three times if you can hear me. Like to get them to be quiet and focus. And but yes, it's a lot of respect for teachers. That's another thing that we're excited about in the future that we're putting together is a teacher appreciation event. So
That'll be
definitely,
well received.
yeah, definitely want to show teachers appreciation and respect for all they do and bless them as well too, and help them become better teachers.
So, Eric, I think you're a guy that doesn't like to have free time because this season you've also become a podcast host with the Third and Long podcast. How do you balance it all?
Podcast was a space that I wanted to get into, and it's been a lot of fun for me, and I think I'm becoming a better and better podcaster as well too.
I enjoy the episodes. You've been able to recruit quite a few of your teammates. Who's been the most interesting guest so far?
I think the interviews have been, all very, very great, and all a little different too. Our conversations, they just kind of flow. I think, I got a lot of good feedback from all the episodes, but Mooney's episode was very funny because he came in and he was like, "Man, I'm nervous. Like, I don't know if I'm going to, say what I want to say." And then I'm like, as we start talking, I'm like, he kind of like took over the, he kind of took over the show
Just
and
let him go.
he was just going. I was like, "Hey, you doing great, bro. Like, I don't got nothing to say. You was acting like you was going to be nervous or something, but you're doing great." But no, every episode has been great. Trent's episode was great. Nick's episode was great. And I'm happy that people get to see, you know, uh, their personalities and my personality too as well. I think people get to see another side of me. And BA's episode was dope. Like just revealing a different side of us and a relaxed environment where you can be yourself.
What did you learn that you didn't know about one of your guests?
I learned a lot. I did some research for the interviews. Um, I, you know, BA's story. I learned a lot. About all my teammates. I didn't know Trent threw the shot put in high school. That was interesting.
I'm not that surprised though. Just elite athlete across the board.
Yeah, but Trent doing the shot put is I can't imagine him doing that.
We'll have to have him do that sometime,
Yeah,
just for the footage.
yeah, and then having a conversation with Nick about life and in football and what it's like to be in his shoes and with the pressure and everything and how he's so gracefully continues to dominate and so that was great and I learned a lot from that conversation as well too.
Well, then we've got sponsors to give a shout out to on this podcast.
Yeah, I got a few sponsors.
We want to give a shout out to Delta Dental, the podcast sponsor here. Niners, protect your teeth and your budget with dental plans from Delta Dental. Get fumble-free dental coverage today.
Take care of your teeth, man.
So, Eric, as usual, we've got some fan-submitted questions for you. This
Cool.
is from our YouTube fam and Twitter fam, X fam, whatever you want to call it. From Josiah, what is your favorite Brock Purdy touchdown so far?
Favorite Brock Purdy touchdown. Not a favorite Brock Purdy touchdown, but one of my favorite Purdy plays was in the preseason, actually, when we were his rookie year. We were playing in Minnesota, and he rolled out. There was a defender there. He spun, got out of him, and rolled the other way. Like he spun on a dime, rolled the other way, and made a pass down the field, completion, I believe. But watching him roll out and spin on a dime and get out of that pressure, I was like, oh, this kid, he got something to him. I hadn't really seen that before, and so that's when that was a moment where I realized like there's something different about Brock.
Knowing what you know now, do you think that moment was just foreshadowing all the amazing plays that were to come?
Yeah, I think so. He's definitely showed flashes, and then once he got his full opportunity, he never looked back.
This one's from Gabe. What is your favorite place to eat back home in Sacramento?
I got a lot of favorite places. Like Makuni for sushi, or Crew for sushi. Either or, can't go wrong. Um, let's see what else. Marie's Donuts, must stop. Um, what else I like? I like Bento Box. Bento Box is solid. Yeah, there's a lot of good food. A lot of good
A
food in
lot of good
Sacramento.
recs for the Sacramento area. This one's from Imagine Losing is the handle. How does it feel to be the longest tenured 49ers player?
How does it feel? Um, it's a interesting title.
I think you should wear it proudly.
Yeah, it's an interesting title, but it it definitely is special because it says a lot about it says a lot about my journey, and it's pretty rare for a player to be tenured this long. Um, it's pretty uncommon around the league, and so it says a lot. It's definitely meaningful to me to be here for this long, and it's been a huge blessing. Like I said, it's been ups and downs, both team wise, individually, and to be here, I think it's a testament to fighting through adversity and uh, having perseverance, and so yeah, it feels it's an interesting title to have, but it definitely comes with a lot of pride because of the journey and the what has gone into it, for me to still be here.
All right, last one from Janae. You've put together In-N-Out and Chipotle orders on TikTok. What's the next restaurant stop, and do you ever let yourself overindulge?
Let myself overindulge. Yeah, you gotta treat yourself sometimes. You work hard. I live by the 80-20 rule. 80% good, 20% got cheat. Cheat. I take my cheat meals very seriously, and you gotta treat yourself sometimes. So it's okay to overindulge. As long as you're, you know, you can't have cheat weeks and cheat months. You gotta have like
It's important.
gotta have like cheat meals and cheat days.
Where is the next cheat meal happening?
I actually already did it. So we're putting it together now. I did a Panda Express. So you guys get to see my Panda Express order.
Is it over like 2,000 calories?
Um, they're gonna total up the calories. I just order off my eyes.
Okay,
I don't
got it.
I don't calorie count, but they'll total it up. They'll put it on the video, so you guys will see that soon.
All right, keep on the lookout. Well, thank you so much for spending a bit of your off day with us. We really appreciate having you.
Appreciate you having me on.
Well, faithful to be featured in the next episode, make sure to submit your questions to 49ers.com/mailbag. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That's it from us.